Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. I am quite booked at the moment, and also I'm working on a big project for the channel. So it's really hard to kind of fit them in at the same time, so please bear with me. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good, or should I say hour. So my ascendant brothers and sisters, we have the Moon card for our key to the week, right? So this is a very interesting card to have here. Funnily enough, Cancer had this same card in this same position. Now, remember, the Moon card can represent the past, but it can also represent the clarity that comes from really examining the past, from really allowing yourself to see things exactly as they are, whether that's places, whether it's people, whether it's situations. And interestingly enough, I feel like this week you're going to have a lot of clarity about your future. So something this week is, and this is going to be through looking at the past. So something or someone could come up for you this week and you're going to see it and say to yourself, wow, you know what, I'm ready to move beyond this now. And more importantly, it gives me a better understanding of what I want from my future. So whatever or whoever comes back into the fold this week, whatever it is that comes up or bubbling up from the past, from the psyche, from the subconscious, or even from the depths of your life, allow it to come up, allow yourself to see it exactly as it is. Remember, whenever something comes back from the past, it's only ever an echo, right? And what you need to think to yourself is, you know what, I got through it last time, I'll get through it this time as well. For our actions and options, we have the 8 of Swords. Right, and look at that, and then you've got the Moon card there as well. So this is not a week for action. It's not a week for you to step ahead with anything. The 8 of Swords is constriction and confinement, and your actions and options is about what you do, but also about what you choose. The fact that you have this coupled with the Moon card means that this week there may be an immovable object that comes up. There may be a situation that arises for you this week where you think, wow, you know what, this is wildly unfair, or it's wrong, or what can I do about this? I don't have any power in this situation. The only thing that you can do in this situation is surrender to what is. And by doing so, you will take the power out of whatever situation or whatever it is that oppresses you or tries to hold you back or hold you down. This is not a week for bold, rash movements. It's a week for you to sit back and observe. Now, if you saw the October 2020 Taroscope that I put out last month, October ain't no joke for us, right? It really isn't. For anybody, whether this is Sun, Moon or Rising Leo, this is a challenging month. It really is. And, with that, are going to come moments where things do feel like they're out of your control or unfair. This is about finding the energy to just get through them regardless and allowing the chips to fall where they may, so that you can build whatever you choose to going forward. For your communications and conversations, you have the Temperance card right underneath the Moon card. This could be an old situation that comes back up for review. This could be something to do with your health. It could be something to do with, in a lot of ways as well, this could be something where it could be a place where you thought you had healed something in your life, and it comes up again. You find yourself having a very similar experience, or you find yourself having a similar conversation and you think, hang on a sec, I've been here before. One of the beauties of being able to see things through the guise of the Moon card is that you can predict what happens next, right? And so this is how the guise of the past works. If you know what situation came up before, or you know the person that comes back into your life over the course of this week, ask yourself, what happened last time? The last time I was interacting with this person, with this place, with this thing, what happened? And when that happened, what was the next event that took place after that? This week, you can get ahead by remembering where you have been, what you have experienced up until this point. Don't let yourself be sidetracked. Don't let yourself be sidelined. And more importantly, don't let yourself be drawn into something that has nothing to do with you anymore, right? Maybe at one point it did have something to do with you, and maybe you had to fight that battle. Maybe you had to be that person in the middle, mediating between others and all the rest of it. This week you don't, right? Remember as well, the Temperance card is about what you pave the way for, what you allow, what you give energy, time and attention and space to. If you haven't seen it, please check out the weekly general this week. It's going to be really important, especially for Leos, for Aries. I'll be interested to see what comes up for the Sagittarians as well, because so far it's just been the fire signs. So I'm really intrigued by this. For our money and materials, we have the Nine of Swords. Two of the cards this week now that have come out for the weekly general. So look at this. You've got the Eight of Swords, you've got the Nine of Swords. Remember, when you see runs of cards like this, what you often are seeing, when you see runs of cards like 7, 8, or 8, 8, 9, what you tend to be seeing is that manifestation is happening very quickly. It's really important that you stay focused on what you actually want to create this week. It's really important that you don't rush into anything too quickly or too fast. Take your time. Just observe what's taking place this week around you. Be present as much as you possibly can. And when something feels like an immovable object, stop pushing against it and move out of the way. All right. If somebody comes at you hurling a fist and you step out of the way, what's going to happen? They're going to fall flat on their face. If let's say somebody is pushing against you and you decide to pull them, what's going to happen? They're going to fall flat on their face. This is a week to use the energy wisely. When you are pushed, pull. When you are pulled, push, right? Whatever it is that comes at you, work with that energy instead of counter to it, and I promise you'll come out unscathed. Now, when it comes, excuse me, when it comes specifically to your money, you got the Nine of Swords. This week you could be concerned about money, you could be concerned about finances. For some of you, this may be that a job is coming to an end. It may be that you decide that the job or the work that you're doing is no longer viable. You could be wanting to go in a different direction, or maybe you're experiencing something to do with your work that feels completely unfair. I hear that, and I can imagine, I only hope that this doesn't unfold in that way for me as well. But should it do so, I'm going to have to work with the energy that I have, right? This is a week to just pay attention and be alert. Now, you've got the Nine of Swords, and you also have the Moon card, which is 18. 1 and 8 gives you 9. You've got 2 9s here. 2 9s are about receipts. It's, about being in receipt of something. So this week you want to check all of your receipts. You want to check everything that you're given. Make sure you go through all of your emails. When it comes to emails, text messages, all of that, before you hit send, read, double check. Especially if I remember one time I sent an email to a colleague. This was actually during a Mercury retrograde. Finest moment. I sent an email to a colleague and copy and pasted my boss in, while I was currently cussing my boss. So not my finest moment, but hey ho, definitely a lesson learned. So this is a week to be very, very on top of all of that stuff. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, your Nine of Swords, this talks about your sleeping pattern. This week it does feel like it's very likely to be interrupted. You could have issues with sleeping this week. You might have just a very active dreamscape this week. So you feel like you're not getting any rest, like even though you've had your 8-9 hours, whatever you do, and you could just not feel rested. So it's really important that you try to find a way to alleviate that. And then when it comes to your home and environment, you could be seeing a shift or a change come up this week, and it might be one that comes very suddenly. I live in an apartment block, so I wonder, this could be, could be anything in that regard, but just be on the lookout. For your love and relations, you have the Ace of Wands. This is great, right? So for those of you that are single this week, this could be the energy that actually goes well. Everything else looks like it might be a challenge, but love seems to be the thing that is opening up for you this week. You've got the Ace of Wands, new beginnings, fresh starts, passion, excitement, vibrancy, sex, sensuality, all of that. And it's right underneath the Temperance card, which means for those of you that are partnered or in relationships, you could be addressing something with your relationship this week. You could be getting that spark or that mojo back in that area of your life. And it's kind of like, you know what, whatever comes up, we're going to have fun and enjoy our company together, and we'll get through it together as a unit. And then for those of you that are single, you could be meeting someone this week. And it's underneath the Temperance card, which kind of, I don't know, suggests to me that this may be somebody that's in the healing professions or in the healing arts. It could be somebody that's spiritual. It could be somebody, you know, it could be somebody that's well traveled. It could be somebody that is just in a very different field of work to you. You know, this could be somebody that is very, very different to you, but really sets you on fire nonetheless. This is going to be a very interesting week for Leos. I'm intrigued to see how it plays out for all of you guys as well. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week as best as you possibly can. Take care, and I'll see you soon.